Hello everyone. So I'm so happy to share with you a quick walkthrough, 2 minutes walkthrough to our recently released Platform Opportunity Exploration Guide 1.0. So for those of you that have been using our materials, you know that we released the Platform Opportunity Exploration Guide previously in 2018. And after 2 years and a half of testing with customers, adopters, and community, we also train more than 150 certified practitioners by using the processes that you will see in this guide. But let me just highlight the main elements of this release, the main aspects of this release. First of all, this release contains a newly packaged set of canvases that is much clearer now in terms of how it relates with Platform Design Toolkit and the user guide that you are familiar with, and also has an impromptu process, features an impromptu process, and also a fully structured one that is more suggested for those that want to go deeper. And also mainly introduced a new approach to transforming value chains through these 6 platform plays that we have been using widely, and you've also been able to see featured in some recent examples, but now it's fully explained in this guide. So, for those of you that are familiar, the structure of the guide is similar to the old one, and part of it's also pretty much the same. So now here there is a clarification on the phases, but you will see that we also, refer to basic concepts that you may want to be familiar with. So you may want to check the user guide, the Platform Design Toolkit user guide. That is the document that covers the actual design process after you identify the opportunity. So it's very much suggested that you check this out. But then, we introduce our unified market theory that, as you know, is based on the work of Simon Wardley, John Hagel, Ben Thompson, and some other geniuses that have been releasing lots of insights in open source. So we have, packaged this already several months ago, and the content of this is pretty much the same as the other guide. But let me jump into the new part. So essentially, you will see that we present here this C to Z shape transition, and through the platform plays that are essentially these 6 strategic transformations to the value chain that platforms and aggregators apply to existing industrial value chains. So you will see these are very clearly explained, and they are also covered in the process, in the actual process later on in the document. So you will see that the exploration journey here is very much explained in details, and after some definitions, that is also another very important part of the guide that we are introducing now. So the idea of looking at the ecosystem as a mix of arenas and then platformization spaces, and we drive you through the process, moving from the large opportunities into unpacking these into smaller ones, and we adopted this idea of arena from Rita McGrath. So essentially we help you to move from the complexity of a large ecosystem to smaller pieces up until the platformization space, that is where you actually do the platform design process. The impromptu approach is quick, and you can use it by leveraging on the brief consolidation canvas that you will find in the package of the downloads. And it's something that we use, for example, when we do quick sprints or masterclasses, to really understand and position yourself in the context and see, am I right? Am I understanding right that there is an opportunity for platformization? So this is something you can use to quickly assess it, and using the patterns that you are familiar with. We released those as well more than 2 years ago. But then the structured approach to platform opportunity exploration goes much deeper, and essentially now we present a couple of examples, especially the independent green energy and renewable power prosumer that you also have been able to see on our public example on our blog, and it goes through the whole system, goes through the whole steps of the approach. And you will see the approach is very much explained in details in 6 subsequent steps. The first step is going to be about, basically breaking down the ecosystem into arenas, understanding where you want to what you want to research. Then there is a step of scanning through the ecosystem scan that you're familiar with. This canvas that we use to essentially look into the ecosystem and look at it through the lenses of the triangle. So the infrastructure, the aggregators, and the long tail. And so basically we map what is happening in the ecosystem, and then we move into, and this is, as you can see, this is compiled, and then you move into essentially then choosing where you focus on. And there are some heuristics that we present in the document, but basically after you understand where you want to go deeper, then you move into mapping the value chain. As you remember, we use wordly maps because we believe this is a more solid approach to mapping value chains. And here is where you basically map normally an industrial value chain that has this characteristic C shape, and then you apply, basically you move the information that you mapped into the scan, you move it into the value chain. Here there is a clear guide on how to do that, and this is normally what you get, as I said, this C shape. Then after that, there is the guide. The guide goes through applying the 6 platform plays and explains very well in details what does it mean, as you can see with visuals, using the example that we mentioned. And then after this, you end up with this transformed value chain, and we help you to understand how to move from these and what insights you can grab from these key points that emerge in terms of how do you set up the actual platform design process by starting from the ecosystem canvas and moving into the entity portraits and motivation matrix and so on, as you know. Then at the end of the day, at the end of the document, actually, we have this further explanation of how do you discern, for example, different opportunities in the value chain. We help you reconnect with the process. There are some further considerations on understanding when value chains sometimes are overlapped or depending one on each other, to understand if actually you have a couple of opportunities of platformizing more than just one. So, of course, the document is really deep and really, I would say, practical. So it's going to be a good guide for you to really explore opportunities that you find. So check this out. We are going to run a session on April 28th to also run through questions from these first weeks of adoption. But this is a document that's going to stay for long and it's going to power your explorations in platforms and ecosystems. So thanks for your attention. Everything is always released in open source, Creative Commons. Everybody can use it. So enjoy, and thank you for your attention.